What is going on, everybody? It is that male CNA. Hope that everyone had a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas or whatever else you celebrate. So today's topic of discussion is what it takes to be a CNA, especially now that we have a second round of pandemic coming or whatever type of a facility you're in, and what it really takes to have that type of a mentality to push through a second wave or just push through your everyday challenges as a CNA. So for the last 2.5 years, I have been a CNA throughout hospitals. As I explained to you guys, I also went on the traveling aspect of the CNA, and it really did not turn out too well just due to the situation that I was in. So the key aspects of being a CNA are having the mental preparedness, being able to stand, twist, move, and push for pretty much 8 to 16 hours a day, or however long your assigned the shift is. I don't know how everyone's schedules work, but that's how it works for me. So my shift typically is either 3 to 11 or day shifts. I do overnights every once in a while. It really depends on what shift you're going to be in, how much walking and, lifting, changing, turning, swapping, all that good stuff that you're going to do. So typically on my 3 to 11 shift, it starts with coming in, preparing the cart, getting certain people to bed early. If they want to go in, you put them in. Most of mine is like long-term care and dementia, so a lot of those people are confused. Some of them are not alert and oriented. You get your showers done. I usually do mine between 4 and 5, and then I'll do like a second round between 7 and 8 if there are residents who want to take their showers at that time. This is where the first aspect of having that mental preparedness comes in, because you really want to leave all your troubles at the door. You don't want to have that mentality of negative energy coming in, because it's really not going to reflect positively on the residents. They're going to read off that, and they're going to sit there and be like, oh, hey, what's going on with this guy? Did I do something wrong? Sorry about the dog whining in the background. That's Ellie. Anyways, so what I was saying, that's usually like the first thing that you really have to push through, and then, getting an assess on this, or getting an idea of how the shift is going to go. I mean, obviously we don't know how every day is going to go, because working in the medical field every day is completely different. A lot of it comes down to having that mental preparedness, leave all that negative energy at the door. If you can do that, then your shift is going to be a lot more pleasant from what I've experienced. Some days are a lot more difficult to push through. There are some days, where you're exhausted from the previous shift, or you're doing a double and it's just like, oh my God, why do I want to be here? Well, you got to think, because you're there for the residents. You're not there for yourself. A lot of it comes down to it's their home, and I know I've said it in previous videos before that it's their home, not ours. So here comes the physical, are you ready to do this type deal? Because a lot of these patients, a lot of them are, they could be a BKA, below knee amputees, or they can't walk. They're more of a heavy set individual. So it means, obviously you're gonna have to do, 2-person assist, the Hoyers, and sometimes these facilities they even have crank Hoyers at some of the facilities I've been to. That takes a lot out of you, having to do 10 to 15 people, putting them in bed, getting them changed, getting them cleaned, showered, getting their grooming needs done, getting their mouthwash, their oral care. A lot of that you have to be, a little bit more prepared for, because people don't really realize how physically draining the job can be. Even though I'm a big guy, I'm 6'3", I'm a little bit more, on a bigger shad. But anyways, a lot of that comes down to having the aspect of being physically fit and being ready for the job that day, and the positive mental attitude. So moving on to the next aspect of the job, it comes down to having the adequate mindset, the physical preparedness, and the mentality of what you have to know, like the mental mindset, like knowing what your shift is, how you're going to plan out your day. I mean, a lot of us, we get into a routine, we know what we're doing, but like I said, you have to prepare for the unexpected. That's another aspect that I wanted to touch on. A lot of the times you'll have someone who says that, hey, listen, I could take care of myself, I could take myself to the bathroom, and then they end up having an accident, or they spill food on the floor. Those are the type of things you have to be prepared for. You have someone who unexpectedly is like, hey, I haven't had a shower in 5 years. obviously we know we've showered them. There are some people who completely refuse it, but there's nothing we can do about that. So anyways, a lot of that comes down to being prepared for that type of a situation, prepared for the unexpected. There's been quite often where I'll find myself in a situation, hey, no one's around to help me do a Hoyer or something like that, so I'll have to end up asking the nurse, I'll have to end up asking one of the other CNAs, and I hate doing that. And every one of us knows that when you get into a situation where you can't find someone else to help you, it's difficult, because you don't want to interrupt what that person's doing. But I often find myself helping everybody that I can, especially in the skilled nursing facilities, because you have to get these people to bed in a timely fashion. You have to get all your rounds done with these individuals. In 3 to 11, we usually do 3, sometimes 4 rounds of changing. It depends. I do my first initial round for people that didn't want to get out of bed that day. I'll put like 3 or 4 of those individuals in the bed, and then comes my showers. You don't really have like a 15-20 minute gap to sit there and take into account, hey, what I'm going to do now. I know on my shifts I always have like a laid out schedule about how I'm going to do things. I like to get the linen cards prepared for the next shift. I always find myself doing that for them, even though they turn around, they don't really want to do the same thing for you. That's just how it works. So planning out your day, that's another big aspect that you have to take into account, because you have to prepare for that unexpected, which I was just touching upon. So going throughout the shift, sometimes a nurse will ask you to help them, elevate a person's legs, doing their wound care. They'll ask you to, you have to knock out some of the vitals for them. Depending on what type of facility you work in, you have to take that into account too. The vitals, the meal changes, ask them if they want their meals changed for the evening, that type of stuff. You have to take into account, especially with people that are alert and oriented. You have to take into account the amount of times they're going to be on the call bell, how many times this person goes to the bathroom, how many times that person's going to be changed, because obviously we know that there are heavier wetters, there are the lighter wetters, and there are the people that just do themselves, which are literally the best. Sometimes in especially in the long-term care side of things, you have people who are much more alert and oriented and can do things more for themselves, but are more demanding. On the dementia side of things, you have people that are much more need more hands-on care. They're more total cares. They're people that really need a lot more help in their daily aspects of living in their ADLs. So back to the point where you need to have that, a good mental preparedness. You need to be physically able to put yourself in a mindset that's going to really get you through the shift, and just plan for your day. So those are 3 really important aspects that I wanted to hit on today and discuss with you guys about what it takes to get into a positive mindset, being physically able to get things done in a timely and oriented manner, and just overall plan out how your shift is going to go. Those 3 things to me are really what it takes to get through a day, and what it takes to really get yourself through a good shift. I always like to say, keep your head on tight, and just you go home after 8 hours and just do what you have to do to get through your shift. Well, guys, I enjoyed this. Is a topic to me that I really wanted to discuss, and hopefully I could upload a little bit more often. But yet again, I hope everybody enjoyed their holidays this at the end of the year. I know things are busy, and I just hope you guys enjoy your new year. And hopefully I can, plan out a little bit content a little bit more ahead. But this was a good topic that was brought up to me by the internet. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was something that I wanted to just touch and discuss with myself. But I hope that everyone enjoys their new year, and I hope that everything goes good for everybody. God bless you all, and I will see you on the next video.